Hey everyone, it's Tim again. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to have another installment of the Great Bookstores New England tour. We're going to be on stop number 4 today, and we're going to head on over to Acton, which is just kind of a north metro West Boston. And there's a great bookstore there, the Silver Unicorn. So let's head on over, and we're going to go talk to Paul and hear what it's all about. Hey everybody, it's Tim again. So today we're stopping by the Silver Unicorn Bookstore in Acton, Mass on 12 Spruce Street. I'm here with Paul, the owner, and he's here to tell me all about this awesome little shop. It's super cute. There's books for every age. So yeah, let's dive right in. Paul, what makes the Silver Unicorn special?
So we like to say that we focus on the three C's: curation, convenience, and community. So, when you come here, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you. We open every day at 10 a.m. We're really only off, for very few federal holidays that people expect stores to be closed on. And, in terms of curation, we work very hard to make sure that while we have a small space, that every book in here has a purpose, and every book in here is something that we would feel comfortable selling to you. And then the last part is community. We make it a point to get out into the community, whether it's sponsoring farmers markets or Little League, or working with our local schools to make sure that they've got good books for students there. And a plethora of other things. We want to make sure that we're good community partners.
Great. And one thing that I really noticed when I came in was the curation. It's not just the New York Times best, sellers. There's a mix of everything. There's the books that are
Right.
popular that you would have read about and heard about online, but there's also the books that you haven't heard about and you're going to discover when you come to a store like this. So, yeah, I thought everything was very well organized, and it looks like you really do have a well curated collection here.
Yeah, actually, oftentimes we don't even pay attention to the bestseller lists.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly they're helpful for marketing books that we're going to carry. But if we're not reflexively just carrying any book just because it lands on the bestseller list. It's got to be a book that we like.
Yeah, very cool. So I kind of have an idea, but what ages do you cater to here at the Silver Unicorn Bookstore?
We like to say we cater to all ages.
Mm-hmm.
We've got books for babies, we've got books for toddlers, we've got picture books for when they're starting to want to read on their own, early chapter books, all the way up through adults, and even the oldest adults as well. If you're curious and looking to learn something, then we've got a book for you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could tell that right away because it's off camera now, but I showed it in the beginning. Just the little door for the
Yeah.
kids to walk through.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that because even though us taller, older people can walk around the corner, I know my son, whenever we come to a store like that, he instantly is just going to run through the door.
Absolutely.
Whether or not he should be going through it.
Right.
You see something that looks fun and curious like that. And I love those little touches, and it really just adds to the ambiance of the corner here. And there's all the adult, prim and proper books over here, fun stuff over here. Before you arrived, I bought a Lego puzzle for my son and I to build later.
Awesome.
So it's definitely a great collection that literally anybody of any age can find something in the store that they're going to want to buy.
That's the idea. We've got a lot of families in town, and we also have a lot of grandparents in town. So we want to make sure that we've got something for everybody.
Yeah. All right, cool. So you're obviously a small business here in Acton. What's it like to be part of the community in a town like Acton as a bookstore?
So obviously in 2021, it's difficult to be a small business, right? Shopping on Amazon and other big box and multinational chains has never been easier, especially as we come out of the pandemic, because even stores that didn't do a lot of online business before have made it a point to focus more on that. So if
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to leave your house to shop, you don't have to. Having said that, we're very lucky here in Acton that we have a great small business community, especially here in West Acton. We like to think of this village as West Acton Village, and we've got more or less anything you could want here. We've got pizza places, we've got a brewery, we've got a coffee shop, we've got an ice cream shop, we've got clothing stores, we've got furniture stores. So there's really something for everyone here in West Acton Village, and as the village has grown, it has become a more and more special place.
Oh, cool. And that's one of the things I noticed. It was super easy to get here. It's right off 495, just a quick little trip down the road. And then as you're going down the main street, there's just businesses of every type that you could ever think of.
Yep.
So I could totally picture just parking in one spot and just walking from store to store
Right.
with a reusable bag and just loading up with everything that you need.
Absolutely. And this is the one neighborhood in town where there is on-street parking, which is a really big deal because if you go to any other part of the town or really any other town that's not, a shopping mall around here, you've got to go from store to store, and you don't have the luxury of parking in one store's parking lot and going to another. You've got to leave because that's their private lot. So having the on-street parking is a really big deal.
Cool. So we've already talked about fun Lego puzzles and books of every age, but what are some of the more unusual and cool features of the product lineup that you have for a visitor to the Silver Unicorn?
So we have, we make it a point to separate out sections that we feel, are going to be of special interest to customers. So we have a dedicated romance section, we have a dedicated sci-fi and fantasy sections, we have dedicated poetry and mystery sections. And the reason that we do that, obviously sometimes books with those types of elements land in general fiction, but we do that so that, if you came in and you're like, man, I really liked Ready Player One, do you have similar books for that? We can say, yes, actually, we have a whole section of books like that, and we can point people to those books. We also do a lot of non-book items, like you said, puzzles. Puzzles were very big last year, and there's been some carryover with that to this year. But we try to choose gifts that we stock, based on their relationship to books. So we're not just selling random stuff. We try to make sure that if you come in for a book and a gift, that it makes somewhat sense to pair them up.
So what type of special events do you run here at the store?
So here at the store, we have two different book clubs that we run, a fiction book club for adults and a middle grade fiction book club for kids. Middle grade books are generally designed for anyone ages roughly 8 to 12. And so both of those run out of the store. And then I curate a book club for Boston.com, which is not specific to this store, but it's one that we stock the books for. And then beyond that, we do all sorts of author events. We like to launch books here when possible, because those are always the happiest days, the day a book comes out. And we try to do, in the before times, we would try to do story time every Saturday morning with an author. We're blessed to have a lot of picture book authors around here that are well versed in story times. But whether it's a sports event or YA or anything in between, we try to host a lot of events. So we've moved them, mostly virtually during the pandemic. We just hosted our first in-person event last night over at the park,
Oh, that's cool.
which was a lot of fun, and it was good to kind of flex those muscles again. Bringing the books out to an off-site event. which is another thing that we did a lot of pre-pandemic was offsite events, whether at farmers markets or just like town fairs, or going to a conference. We sold books once at a tennis match. We sold books at a movie theater. So we try to get out and find people in creative ways. We haven't obviously had the chance to do that for a while, so it was good to do it last night. But
That's very cool.
yeah, we really enjoy hosting events. It's another part of our kind of community feel is bringing an author out and giving them the opportunity to meet people here in the community.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And I assume now that things are starting to loosen up a little bit more, you're going to start ramping up as things feel safer and start doing it all over again?
Yeah, the plan in the fall is to kind of move to a hybrid model. We've had a lot of fun with the virtual events, and it gives us the opportunity to talk with authors that don't live anywhere near here. We've had authors from all around the country and even all over the world. We've twice we've linked in with people that were in Europe for events, and they graciously stayed up late.
That's cool.
For them. Or one was in Europe and one was in, I think, the Philippines. So I mean, that's obviously something you can't do without a computer, right? So that's been really cool. So we don't want to necessarily lose that, but we also want to bring people back into the store. So the fall and the winter will just be about finding the right mix and finding what people are comfortable with. And
very cool.
So it'll be another opportunity to do our best for the community.
All right, very cool. And so speaking of the web, I assume you have a web presence.
We do.
You're on Facebook, Twitter, website.
Yep.
All right, cool. So I'll put all the information in the description down below so that you guys can come and visit the web, and then you see something you like, definitely come and visit the store physically if you can.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Paul. I appreciate it. This was awesome coming down to check it out. I highly recommend you come check out the Silver Unicorn here on 12 Spruce Street in Acton. You have anything else you want to add in to the lovely viewers on YouTube?
I would just say, stop in and ask us a question. We love making book recommendations, and that's really the best part of the job is getting to chat with people about books. So while we're perfectly happy to let you come and quietly browse, we always love talking about our newest favorite books or our oldest favorite books, because everyone's looking for something a little different.
And that's why I love coming to independent bookstores like yours, because you can't get that same experience online.
Absolutely.
Like, sure, you can go on Amazon or whatever and buy it and save 30 cents or something, but you're not going to get to talk to a real person. You're not going to get the recommendations. You're just getting something that an algorithm told you to go buy.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, definitely come down, talk to Paul and his team, and you're going to have a fun time.
All right.
So, Paul, thank you once again. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And like I said, everybody come down, check out the Silver Unicorn Bookstore in Acton, and you're going to have a great time. So, thanks again.
All right.
Bye.